Hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another Call of the Wild video. So there's going to be a couple of different things in today's video. Of course, we are going to be talking about my albino raccoon grind here on Mississippi Acres, and whilst we start off this video, you're going to see some footage of me shooting a load of raccoons at this particular spot where I can basically do like a self-driven hunt, but I'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. But just to start off, I've got a couple of little things that I want to talk about. So the giveaway did end, the giveaway that I was doing for the couple of DLCs, and we do have a winner for that, so big congratulations to them. They have got their prize now, so really happy that that all worked out. And, of course, something else quite big, and I'm not one to normally talk about sub counts and stuff like that, but it was quite a big milestone last night. The channel did hit 5,000 subscribers, and it's a really big milestone, so I just wanted to mention it, and thank you all so much for just all of your amazing support. It really does mean the world to me. I know I say it all the time, but it really does, and I'm just incredibly grateful. I never thought that I'd get to this point, so honestly seeing that happen last night was really quite incredible, and I'm just so grateful to all of you. So yeah, really big thank you to all of you. You're awesome. So that's just those couple of bits I wanted to mention at the start of this video. Something else I want to mention is there will be no EW stream this coming Tuesday, as Jaxie Beard is actually currently in Sweden, so it seems like there's no one there who can actually do the Call of the Wild stream for this week. So, of course, there will be no stream recap, because there will be no stream to make a recap video on. So I will keep an eye on all of the social media channels in case anything else gets posted. Hopefully we'll see some more footage of some of the animals like we've seen for the raccoon dogs and the teal and the goldeneye. Hopefully we'll see some more of that in the coming week. And of course taking a look at any dev diaries as they come through as well. And hopefully we'll soon get some information about when Revontuli is actually planning to be released. At this point in time, I will just mention it now because it's the most commonly asked question at the moment. There is no release date for Revontuli at the moment. From what I can understand, it's in certification for the consoles, from what was being said on the last stream, so it seems like hopefully it's on its way, but there's just no official dates for anything. Same goes for early access. There's no release dates for the early access portion or anything like that either, so no one really knows when anything's happening at the moment, but it will be soon. I wouldn't expect it to be any later than sort of the beginning of July, end of June, so hopefully it should be fairly soon, and I'm really excited about it. But that's basically those bits of information, news, announcements that I wanted to sort of get at the very start of this video, and just, like I said, thank you all for everything again. And now I can talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on in the background. So I have been continuing to grind raccoons here on Mississippi Acres in search of that ever elusive albino for my trophy lodge, and still haven't found it. I won't try and hide it or anything. I still haven't found an albino, but I have found some other trophy raccoons, which we will see towards the end of the video. But I have found a couple of cool ways to actually grind the raccoons, and this is my favourite by far. So if you take a look at the Mississippi map, at the very bottom there's an island that is kind of like detached from the rest of the map, but you can actually access it by crossing. It's like a little bit of a marshland with some like reeds and water on like very shallow bits of water and mud, and you can actually cross through it and come onto this little island. And since they did the last population redistribution, there's actually quite a lot of raccoons that will actually feed and drink over on this little island. So what I normally do is I'll go to the very bottom of Mississippi and I'll start at the far right hand lodge. I'll drive all the way through all the fields at about 6 AM, which is when the raccoons are feeding, and I'll try and push them all towards this little island. And they do seem to end up here if there, is any in that little area that are feeding. They do seem to end up running across to this island. I've seen them do it. And of course, if I catch up to any on the ATV as I'm driving over, I'll get off and shoot those. But then I come onto the island, and this little island has a sort of waterway between the bigger bit of the island and a smaller bit of the little island. And what can happen is if you use the ATV to spook animals, they'll run across this water onto the smaller section of island, and then they've got nowhere to go. So they turn around and run back across this little stretch of water right at you, as you can see. And it basically means that I can do a bit of a self-drive. And it's really, really fun. I've shot about 20 raccoons maximum on one of these drives. Normally it's between 15 and 20. It's really good numbers of raccoons, as you can see, as well as pigs, quail. I've even had a black bear end up in here once. Foxes, the grey fox are normally in here, at least a couple of them. It's a really, really fun little self-drive that I can actually do. And I have really enjoyed actually getting more skilled with the 12 gauge, which, as you can see here, some of these shots I'm pretty proud of. I can make pretty decent kill shots with it now, and I'm really quite hopeful that, you know, when Revontuli actually does come around, I should be at least decently skilled with this shotgun for taking on some of those faster flying ducks and, of course, geese. But yeah, this little drive is really, really fun. Like I said, I still haven't had the albino, but killing this number of raccoons just like this is really, really helpful for the grind, of course. And I hope that one day I'll see a white one come running across the water amongst all the greys and blondes and everything else. It will be really, really cool. I'm so hoping I can actually try and get one before Revontuli. It's probably my most wanted trophy in Call of the Wild at the moment, which I never thought I would say when raccoons were actually released. They're by far not my favourite species. They're just not. I much prefer the deer species and the alligators, stuff like that. But these raccoons have just ended up being such a big thing for me to grind for. And I never thought it would be this tough for me to actually try and find an albino. I have had so many other trophy raccoons that at this point I really thought I would have found one by now. And speaking of trophy raccoons, we're actually going to take a look now at some of the other trophies that have popped up in the last few days on this grind. So here, as you can see, we just had a blonde piebald female that actually came through the driven bit here. Only a level 1 female, so I wasn't worried about, you know, trying to keep the score or anything. Still actually managed to get a vital hit on her, which I seem to be getting better at, where I can actually hit them once, and then as they turn, I can, like, get a second shot that normally hits vitals. So I'm really happy with that. And then we have another blonde piebald female here. This is on the smaller section of island before they come into that sort of water run section where they'll run back at you. I was just making sure that there was nothing dead over on this little island, and there was still a couple of females that were left, and she ran past me and we managed to get her there. And also I ended up finding this one, a little tiny level 2 male, but it is also a blonde piebald. I have not had a single grey piebald on this grind, but I have had a good number of blonde piebalds. So I definitely think these guys are the most common rare for the raccoons. They do look really cool, but it's not what I'm looking for. And sometimes when you see one off in the distance through the night vision and you can't get a clear look, you just see the paler sort of back end of one, and you just for a minute might think it's an albino. I've had that a couple of times in this grind, and then you realise you can see the stripes on the tail still, and it's like, oh no, it's another blonde piebald, not what I was actually looking for. But I did actually have quite a cool blonde piebald turn up in the form of a decent size level 4 blonde piebald male. Now, I have decided basically that, seeing as I'm using the 12 gauge pump to actually grind raccoons, I've been trying to take the trophy raccoons with it as well. So, trying to get nice and close here so that I can actually take this blonde piebald male. And you can see the difference between him and the brown one in front of him. So, we've got the 12 gauge pump there. We're going to zero it for 25 meters and take both of these guys out. And you can see there, no problem at all, just absolutely kills them dead on the spot, which is always what I'm looking for, just to get through and grind these guys as quickly as possible. But I was really happy to actually see that this was a decent size level 4, because then, you know, this is probably now a good one for the trophy lodge. Those level 1 females, I knew I had males at least, so the females I wasn't going to tax. But, you know, seeing a level 4 male pop up, I'm going to tax that one because I do believe this is my personal best at 10.30. That's a really nice size gold blonde piebald. So, happy to have gotten this one at least. Like I said, these are by far the most common thing that is showing up on the grind, but when I spotted this guy and he was actually a level 4, I was pretty happy to actually see that. And really happy with how the 12 gauge pump performed that as well, doing a perfect job and basically blowing out most of his organs along the way there, but getting through to vitals, of course, and getting the full score. Now, this one was a bit of an odd one. I was chasing this Raccoon, and I obviously had gotten the track fur type glitch, and it was displaying the fur type wrong for this guy. And the whole way along, I could not pick up Disturbed Veg, and it ended up being a melanistic. Now, this guy would have just barely scraped gold at 9, but, you know, I didn't get the vital hit, so of course he's lost a medal and has gone down to a silver. But I wasn't too upset because I do have a max weight estimate melanistic Raccoon, which that did make gold because I did hit it properly. So, you know, I already have a couple of much bigger ones than this. But of course, I'm still going to tax it. Melanistic Raccoons are very cool. But this is now my 6th melanistic Raccoon. I have 6 of them now, which is just absolutely crazy in my head. I never ever thought I would end up with 6 melanistics and not 1 albino. I don't know what my RNG is, but I honestly think that's really crazy. Now, moving on and taking a look at some of the level 5s that have popped up. Of course, with grinding for Raccoons, I'm trying to take out the males where possible. I do end up shooting females as well, but I try to focus on the males where possible, as I really would like a male albino to go in the Not-A-Log multi-mount with my albino alligator. Like I said, I will shoot females as well, just because they are there. But I am trying to mainly focus on males, and of course that does mean that sometimes we get level 5 showing up. And unfortunately that one did not quite make it at 11.90, so it just missed diamond unfortunately by literally 0.1. But, you know, it's not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not necessarily looking for more diamonds. I'm looking for the rares, and specifically for an albino. But it's really nice to see them turning up because it does still feel like I'm doing all the right things if the level 5s are showing up. Hopefully that means eventually an albino will pop up if I keep doing this. And we had this one turn up as well. This one does make diamond at 12.10, so barely makes diamond, but it's the grey fur type, which is actually my favourite of all 3 of the common fur types. Out of the brown, blonde and grey, the grey is definitely my favourite. It's just the most classic looking Raccoon to me, and I just think that they look really, really smart, so I was really happy to see another level 5 grey. Now, as you can see, we are chasing another Raccoon down here. This is another level 5. Unfortunately, my ATV there was smoking from all of the trees I had crashed into, but I just wait there for this level 5 to give me a shot, and as soon as he stops there, I managed to drop him with a vital hit from the 12 gauge. Again, the 12 gauge just doing such a fantastic job of actually taking these guys in those sort of quick situations where I need to be able to make that quick shot. And once again, like I said, this is another grey, and this one, again, just barely makes diamond at 12, which is actually the diamond requirement. So being right on the diamond requirement, he is quite a small one, but again, really, really like these guys. I think they look really, really smart, and I would be more than happy to put it somewhere either in the main trophy lodge or a secondary lodge, or maybe even my new trophy lodge that I'm going to start for Revontuli, as that one is going to be more small game focused. But again, just really, really happy to see another level 5 popping up. It's always really good when I see level 5s or other rares turning up. It's always that encouragement of, okay, if I'm getting these to show up, then hopefully eventually I'll get the role of an albino turning up. Because at the end of the day, it's all chance as to what spawns. So if I'm getting these other things to spawn, in my head, I'm doing all the right things, and hopefully, eventually, I'll get the right roll of the dice that means an albino spawns. Now, to finish up this video, I have my favourite clip, actually, of taking down a level 5. Now, it's not my favourite fur type being the blonde, but this was just a really cool encounter with a level 5. Now, you can see this guy is actually a guaranteed diamond with the 12 to 14 estimate, and I actually managed to get him there right as he stood up at really, really close proximity, and it was just really cool to me. I just loved how that worked out. I really wasn't expecting to get quite that close and have that exact encounter. I was expecting to try and sneak in and try and get him while he was drinking. No idea why he was actually travelling there, but it ended up working so perfectly, and we got to actually get it in the harvest screen where it's actually stood up like this. Now, this is actually quite a big raccoon at 12.70 when 13 is max score, so quite a big one. But because it's the blonde fur type, I didn't know necessarily if I wanted to tax it, as I do already have a max scoring one, and like I said, the blonde isn't my favourite of the common fur types for these guys, so it's in my saved harvests for now, and if I decide to tax it, then maybe I will. But again, the 12 gauge pump doing such a good job there, going straight through double lung, and you can just see the spread is just all in the lungs. I was so happy with that shot, honestly, and like I said, it was just a really cool experience. So the raccoon grind is going quite well overall. We're getting quite a good number of trophy caliber raccoons, both level 5s and rares turning up. Still can't believe that that is my 6th melanistic raccoon. I really can. I just think that that is so crazy that I've been hunting these guys so incredibly hard looking for an albino, and all I can get is melanistics and piebolds. And, you know, it's normally either the blonde piebold or the melanistic. I think those are the two I have the most rares of, which is so strange. I have a few grey piebolds, which I like the grey piebolds a lot, and it would be cool if I could get a big grey piebold to show up. It would be so cool if a rare level 5 turned up. I don't know what I'd do with myself if a rare level 5 turned up, but I'm still holding out hope that maybe we can find this albino before Revontuli. And if I end up with an albino female, I might stop grinding there and do something different with my trophy lodge. Honestly, I just want to get one to go somewhere in the trophy lodge at this point. It's kind of become like a personal vendetta to find an albino just because I found so many melanistics. I just think it's crazy, and it's just makes, every time I get another melanistic, it's like, okay, come on, I really want to find an albino now. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy, and like I said at the start of the video, I'm just so incredibly pleased and thrilled and grateful and all of those good things about how everything is going with the channel. I'm so incredibly grateful. I don't know what else to say other than that, other than thank you, and you're just incredible, and I really appreciate everything. It really does mean the world to me, and hopefully that's coming through, because, you know, sometimes I don't know if it comes through when I'm recording like this, but it really does mean so much to me, and I really am incredibly grateful. So again, thank you all so much, and thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you have enjoyed it. Some clips that have taken, you know, this has been about a week, I think, since the last raccoon grind video I posted, so it's been a little while, so I really wanted to get one out and update you guys with how it was going. Thank you guys so much for watching, and like I said, everything you do, it means so incredibly much to me. And yeah, thank you all. I'll stop rambling now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.